everyone. What are you doing with your eyes?
Looking at the camera?
Yeah, but you were just making them bigger. Okay, so we're back. It's been a minute between our videos. We're sorry. We just can't seem to get it together to film these because life is busy. So we wanted to bring something up because we're noticing in the comments some very specific, although complimentary comments. They're striking us a little weird. They go along the lines of, I can't wait to find a white man, my white man, or I can't wait to find a black woman. Just very specific wanting of another race.
What's the context? What do you mean?
So we post these videos. Todd is white and Jewish. Yes, correct. Not the other ones. And I'm black, Caribbean, black person. And we're an interracial couple, right? Multicultural. And I think that some people who watch our videos think that the only thing holding them back from true love is dating within their race or finding somebody of another race, or specifically a black person like me, a black woman, or a white man. And that's going to solve all of your problems if that's what you think, or that you're not getting what you want in your own race category, so you're thinking that the grass is greener elsewhere. And, you know, there are a couple issues with that, don't you think?
Yes. Pardon my ignorance, everybody.
We talked about this before, so I don't know why he's acting like he hasn't heard of this before.
No, what are they saying in the comments?
So Todd doesn't read the comments, it's clear. I read the comments.
No, like, what are they saying? What do you
They're saying, they're just like, you know, I'm paraphrasing, like, I can't wait to find a black woman one day, or I am waiting for a white man.
So I'm waiting for a white man,
or I have one. I have a black man, or I have a white, whatever it is. Just kind of reducing a person to just their race, as if that's going to be enough to satisfy what you need out of relationship. What do you think?
The first thing that came to my mind was like the fetish thing.
Yeah.
When it's a fetish for people.
Fetishizing.
Versus, like, I'd like to know what the reasoning is before just jumping to that conclusion, but I'd have to read the comments, I guess, but what is driving that?
Yeah, I think, and you know, some of them are very simple. It's just like looking at us. We're interracial, black and white. There are other types of interracial couples, of course. Thank you to those of you who have responded, and you are going through some interesting scenarios in your own interracial relationship. But whatever it is, whether you are white, black, Asian, a Hispanic, whatever, when you're in a relationship with somebody of another race, you have to be very clear on why you're there. And very clear on how you expect to be treated and treat other people while you're there. Right? Don't you think? Like, are you there because you think that that particular race is going to do something better for you, more for you, weirder for you than your own race? That's kind of racist on your part, no? To think like that. No?
I'm not sure.
It just strikes me as odd. So we just wanted to clear that up.
Depending on what's driving it, it could be, I don't know, it could be weird or the wrong motivation. Not that you need motivation. I don't know. I don't know how to.
No, I think you're right. I think what you said earlier is correct. I can only speak for women, but I think this happens to men too. You get into a relationship with somebody of another race. You might be in love, but they're there because they think that your particular race category does something that theirs doesn't, or will do something that theirs doesn't. And that's when it gets a little sketchy in terms of fetishizing. Like, you know, one thing is, you know, Asian women are meek and mild and they defer to the men in their lives, and, you know, they let the man rule them. And that's not always true.
Right.
And so people will get into relationships with Asian women expecting them to act in this stereotypical Asian way, and it's offensive. Or that she should be doing certain things that are frankly offensive. Like, what do you expect her to be doing that's so different than your own race? Or she could be on the flip side. She expects a white guy to do certain things that an Asian man won't, right? And that's the only reason she's there. That's when you get in that gray area of fetishizing somebody, right?
Yeah, you did say something though about is there something that race will give me that my race won't give me?
Right.
And there is, and it can be cultural.
Yeah, cultural. Because we're talking about different cultures, right? Not
be very
racially motivated.
Which can be very interesting and
unique. You have not experienced it
stimulating.
before. Yeah.
Stimulating, which I think could be a positive thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying, because like I said, I'm a little afraid to just jump at like the fetish thing because maybe there's more to it, but it is weird off the gun.
If that's the only thing that you're looking for from a relationship is the color of the person's skin and their race category, because you think that they're going to treat you better or treat you weirder than you're used to. I don't know. I say weirder because as a Black girl who's dated outside of her race, I've had some weird ass people come up to me thinking that Black women do certain things that we don't do. At least I can only speak for this Black woman.
She doesn't.
We will not be swinging from the chandeliers and flipping from the fans because, we are freaks or whatever you think it is. Ew. That's what I mean about fetishizing, or thinking I have Black friends who think white men are less harsh and more complimentary and more whatever than Black men.
What about physically? What if a person is just simply more physically attracted, finds more beauty, a guy, let's say, finds more beauty in somebody in a different race?
Well, if it's always a different race, I think that's a problem. I think that's fetishizing.
Okay.
I do. If it's,
No, I'm kidding.
Condoleezza Rice, Michelle Obama, Todd's going through all the women in his head that he thinks are
Jill Scott.
Yeah, I think that if it's like a sexual attraction in particular, that's where you get into trouble with fetishizing. Because I think beauty is universal. It's subjective, but it's universal.
Well,
but if you're only sexually attracted to one kind of race, you need to question yourself why that is. Like, why do you think that they will be the only ones to give you sexual pleasure? It's a really interesting thing because everybody has their preferences, right?
Yeah, I didn't even mean like sexual. I just meant like visually. If a woman, if a white woman finds Asian men more attractive to her physically, like the look, the visual, than anybody else, is that fetishizing?
Could be. And I'm not pointing fingers because, I've fallen into the gray area myself of like, what is beauty? I worked in fashion for some time and, it's very Eurocentric and you can get like, that colonization is real. It even goes there too. So of telling you what beautiful is. So I do think it's always a good exercise for everything in your life. And I don't want to sound too preachy. Question yourself. Question your own motivations of why you think the way you do or why you prefer things in a certain way. And you can tell, though, the fetishizing versus actually finding somebody beautiful. I've had people come up to me and start speaking in a way where they think that that's how I speak, right? Yo, girl, what's up? And they're not Black or whatever. And you're like, no, you're not allowed to code switch. That's for me to do. But you know what I mean? Like that to me is like borderline fetishizing and kind of offensive. You don't go up to a Latina woman and suddenly start speaking in a Latino accent because you think that's what she understands or, yelling at her because you assume that she doesn't speak your language. That's fetishizing somewhat, like it's a racist fetish, but it's still fetishizing. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Todd's like, oh shit.
Is this still on?
I have been fetishizing people this entire time. No, it's actually a good thing for us all to think about. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who've made those comments, I'm not really like trying to call you out or bombard you. I just want you to like self-reflect about what you expect from other races to be in this relationship with them. Everything starts with you. So if you're expecting people to like fix your life because they're of another racial category, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. Not that you haven't fixed my life, babe, but you know, that's not the only reason why you're here.
When did this happen to you, actually?
I don't know. Anyway, let us know what you think.
This has been wonderful.
This has been wonderful. Todd's semi-healed from the last time. The last time we posted, you were sick.
I was?
But yeah, leave your comments, especially if you're in an interracial relationship and you've found, or you've ever been in one. If you've ever been in an interracial relationship and you're like, you've experienced some of this, let us know. Bye. Subscribe.